This is it. This is No Laugh Track Podcast. We're here at Acme Comedy Company in Minneapolis. My name is Justin Severson, the host. Thank you, Circle of Heat, for letting us play your music there at the beginning of the show there. I am here, super excited. I have more notes and less time to get to them than ever before, and that's not even exaggeration.
Those are lots of notes.
Yeah, Dana Gould here with me.
Hi.
I've written on 6 different pieces of paper in this notebook.
Good Lord.
Most people get 2, Dana.
2 is too many.
2 is often too many, but here's why. Because as you know, because it's you have a million things going on right now.
Yes. I like to flood the zone.
You are, yes. It's not saturation necessarily, but you're doing so much stuff
October's
right
a big push. This was planned. This was all pre-planned. And, October's a big push because of the TV show. And I had to pick a date to release the album, and they wanted to do it in the end of summer, beginning of fall. But I thought, well, let's wait till October when the TV shows come and kind of piggyback, and that way I can use the press opportunities for the album to plug the show and the press opportunities for the show to plug the album. Yeah. And then there's just the touring and the podcast that are ongoing anyway. So, yeah, it's 4 things at once, which is a lot.
Jeez. You kind of need a timeout, right?
I don't have a timeout. Not till December.
I don't even know where to start. Let's start with the album.
Sure.
Because that's already out there.
It's called Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club. No, it's called Mr. Funny Man. Yeah. It's called Mr. Funny Man, and what happened with the album was, I had this batch of material, and it takes about 2 years to get an hour for me, because I don't live on the road. I only go out about twice a month. I'm not constantly touring. I have many other jobs and many other responsibilities. But I like to go out every 3 weeks. I go out. And so for me, where it would normally take somebody a year to develop an hour, it would take me more like 2. And also because I don't fuck around, my hour is pretty dense. Yeah. And I like it that way. It's how I want it. So I had this batch of material that I thought had reached it was ripe, and it was ready to get put down. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about doing a special, and Netflix had just finished giving a special to every living person except me. I went
through my notes from last year when you did the podcast here, and something in my notes, I don't even know if we brought it up, but that was a year ago when you were here, was the week they announced Chris Rock. 20 mil.
Yeah, and that's great. I mean, but they were giving they flooded the zone with specials, and literally I came in we just gave Jerry Seinfeld $100 million and Chris Rock $500 million. So can you come back to us in 6 months when our budget is back? And I said I don't have 6 months. This material is, I felt it was really ready to go, and I was getting ready to take the summer off to go shoot Stand Against Evil in Atlanta. So I thought, let's just do an album. Because the other thing about an album is that specials are great. They come on, you see them, and they go away. You get a billboard down by the airport for a week, and you feel like a famous person. But people don't go back and rewatch specials the way they will go back and listen to an album. And I find that because of Sirius especially, that the audio content is really what has the shelf life. I grew up with collecting comedy albums, and I always wanted an album. And this is my 4th. So I thought, let's just do it as an album. And I could not be happier with it. The label, Kill Rock Stars, is fantastic. They really know what they're doing. It's a punk label, which I kind of think fits my audience and my sort of worldview, and I couldn't be, and it came out great. They really took the time. I worked with the producer, and we really cut it, and I'm very, very, very happy with it.
It came out last Friday.
Yeah, it came out on the 6th.
Yeah. Yes, and I've listened to the whole thing.
I was neurotic coming on the road because I assumed everyone had heard it, everyone had memorized it, and the minute they heard any bits from it, they were going to revolt. So, because ostensibly you want to, as soon as you do the material, you start to remove it from your act, which I did, but I finished the album and then took 3 months off to go do Stand Against Evil in Atlanta. So I didn't start removing it until a lot later.
Oh, okay.
So I took, so right now I'm at about half and half. I have about 20 minutes of new stuff. I have about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes of some really old things that I kind of retrofitted and brought back. And then there are some bits from the album that are still in there. So it's sort of a Whitman sampler of a show, but I was happy with how it went last night. And I do think that people want to hear some things again. Like,
I think so.
I love that bit. Do that bit.
I think so.
But doing everything would be really, I think, a disappointment.
Not I think so. I know so. I came to the show. Jimmy Pardo was here last weekend. And I complimented him after the show that I love the fact that he kind of threw a couple bones to the longtime fans.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You want to hear that stuff.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I like it. The title, you come up with that?
I did. It took a while.
I read an interview that you did back in last December, maybe?
Yeah.
And it was two completely I don't know if you were joking, but it was two completely different titles
What
than
were
what
they?
you went with.
I can't remember. Because no, that was
I don't remember. I didn't
yeah,
write those
I had
down.
a different title in mind. I did have a different title in mind, and the record company went, nah. But they were right. They were right. The title I have now is much better.
Mr. Funny Man.
Yeah. Which is a nice kind of sarcastic, derogatory term. Hey, Mr. Funny Man.
Make me laugh, funny man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Are you selling them after? Did you bring them?
No,
Not this
it's
time.
it's all downloaded. There's no physical.
Oh,
product.
there is no physical
Yeah,
whatsoever.
there's no physical product. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do sell posters after the show because I find that because of the podcast, people like to say hello, and I've been coming to Minneapolis for a long time. I have some really great fans here and people I know. So
Yeah.
but I would like to have. Eventually, probably in about a year, Dan Schlissel at Stand Up Records will do like a vinyl of it. I
right
I
on.
like the vinyl. Yeah. But it's just because it's a big thing with your face on it.
Yeah, and a good thing to sign.
Yeah, it's a great thing to sign. People like it. Yeah. My first album is in the movie The Big Sick.
Really?
Yeah, it's on Camille's wall.
No kidding.
Yeah, I found that out.
Oh wow. Oh, that's
Very
really cool.
flattered.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. That's sort of like I know. I don't want to get too far ahead here, but I know I've heard you talk about Stand Against Evil and the little you threw in little jokes here and there.
Totally, yeah,
Yes.
totally.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of similar to
Yeah,
that, right?
absolutely. Yeah, deep dive stuff.
Right. Well, I'm glad to know that there isn't a physical copy right now because I bought the download and I always hesitate. Like, well, could I have got the physical? If I
Yeah,
would've
no, not
waited?
yet. You need to wait.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. And you do have those posters. I saw the picture.
I do have the posters. Yeah.
Very cool. I remember you gave me the one from last year. The
Right.
Linus.
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
like
I always come in
the pumpkin
October, so they're
patch.
always Halloween themed, and this is a really great. Really great design by a guy named Ben Walker in California.
What was is that a caricature? Not a caricature, but the design, like with your mouth, is like kind of like frown, like.
Yeah, no, it's just his.
What's that style?
I don't
is there a
know.
name
I
for
guess
that?
it's caricature. Yeah. He did it.
All right, fair enough. Let's talk about Stand Against Evil.
Sure, love to.
What's so cool is when we did this last year, it was before the premiere.
Right.
So since now that I've watched the series, season 1, and then going back and listening to you talk about it.
Yeah.
Before it was just.
How wrong was I?
No, not really. No, not at all.
You were so off.
It's like you didn't see the same show.
Yeah,
I don't-
exactly.
Dina, where were you?
Yeah, no, I was. I mean, I was really excited, and I was very happy to have been able to do it. What surprised me was it was a hit. It really did well, and we get to make a second season, and hopefully we'll get to make a third. And I couldn't be happier with it. It's absolutely like the show that I wanted to make.
Awesome.
And it's a show I'd watch. You know, like I'd watch that show if I haven't seen every episode 80 times. Yeah, I definitely watch that show.
It's really good. It's really, really
Hey,
good.
yeah, you know, the reason it is really good, and the reason it's really good is because I have been doing this long enough that I'm over myself, and I don't have any problem letting people be great at their jobs and just standing back and letting people do their jobs, and you get great results. And you know, you still get credit.
Right.
If Jason Alexander is funny, Jerry Seinfeld still gets credit. People don't exclude Jerry Seinfeld from the positive feeling garnered by Jason Alexander. And everybody on our crew, John McGinley, Janet Varney, Nate Mooney, Deborah Baker are amazing actors. We had really great writers to work with this year. The directors were great, Jack and Justin and Rob Cohen. The set designers are great. The makeup, just like everybody knows by now that I am open to ideas, and I'm like, great, go. I'll give you a great example. We have an episode with a demon baby that transforms into a slightly larger demon baby.
Okay, I can't wait.
It's a really good episode. It's really funny, and I get the crap kicked out of me in it.
Okay.
And
Kevin does?
Kevin does. Named after my brother.
Oh, real? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Named after my brother. We were going to shoot the finale. We had this finale with all the regulars and Kevin facing down this demon baby in the woods. And it was just the last 2 weeks of production. It rained every day. It just rained every day. And we couldn't go to the woods. It would have been a mud pit, and would have taken too long, and we need to come up with something else. Okay. We had no money. And Rob Cohen and I, the director, have been really, really close friends for a long, long time. We did a TV show together, and I first met him when I crashed his office on the Ben Stiller show in 1992, and then we did a show on MTV called Super Adventure Team. So
the puppet thing.
Yeah, the puppet thing. Yeah, he did that. He and I did that together, and we have a really great shorthand with each other. But we were just like, I'll think of something. I don't know yet. And our set designer, our art director, Molly, best name in the business, Molly Coffee. I love her name. Said, can I pitch an idea? I was like, please, yes, please. He's like, well, if it's a baby, what if it would have a blanket fort? It would build like a blanket fort. And so what if we go, and there was a storefront that we could rent pretty inexpensively. What if we built a blanket fort in this storefront? And then Rob said, wait, yeah, no, and it could be really like a labyrinth, like the Nostromo in Alien. And then I said, well, if it's Alien, then the baby's victims can be cocooned up on the wall in baby blankets, but covered in goo. And the whole conclusion became 100 times better than it would have been.
Wow.
And it was my favorite scene in the season because Molly knew that I valued her ideas, and that I wasn't afraid to go, no, it can't be a good idea, it's not mine. And that was a great example of how we all work together. And
I want to know how
she did it for nothing.
That's wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to know how confident were you that there was going to be a second season before you?
Not even a little.
Not even a little.
No, I was very happy to do the first season, and I was like, I was very happy with the show. Like, this is a show that I wanted to do, but I didn't know if it was going to resonate with people. I thought, I thought it was going to be like everything else I do, my stand-up, my podcast, that it was going to really, really, really resonate with a moderate-sized audience, but not a huge audience. It's like, I'm not Kevin Hart. It's like I'm not playing an empty crater in the Arizona desert that airlift bleacher seats into it. They're draining a dam for his HBO special. Right. I play clubs still. I have a very dedicated audience, but it's
for sure.
It's not limitless. And I felt the show would be like that too, but it's on the right network, and the people, the numbers for it were really, really strong. So, and I think that's in large part due to John McGinley, the star.
Do you get a chance?
Has a big audience that comes with him.
Oh, sure. Do you get a chance to I guess the season ends, people watch it or don't, and then you just sit and wait?
Yep.
There's no
That's exactly
there's no
right.
hey, can I give you one last pitch on why we got to do a second one?
No, you do that. That. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to numbers.
Yeah.
They sit and they calculate. And, I got a call. The show wrapped in December, and I got a call later in December. Which was early. I thought it would be January, February. Like, yeah, we want to do another one. You did a really good job.
Okay.
And, we were very happy, and I went right to work.
I know last year, I assumed it happened. The premiere was going to be shown at a cemetery.
Yeah,
Can you tell
that
me
was the
about
greatest
that?
night.
That happened?
That was one of the best nights of my career. We had a giant premiere at the Hollywood Forever, at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery in Los Angeles, and they showed it on the side of a mausoleum. But we had like 2,700 people there. It was fantastic.
Wow.
It was really one of the best nights of my career. Definitely like top 3. And I remember saying to them this year, "Are we going to do that again?" Like, no.
Oh, why not?
Well, shows get a big push in their first season to make a lot of noise, and then you kind of have to take some of that stuff. Costs money.
Sure.
All that stuff costs money.
I want to know, and then one of the other things you talked about is how you wrote it and Stan's character was based on your father at one point, and you wanted to play that role, then that changed, and then it was John.
That was
McKinley.
That was one of the great examples in my career of somebody pulling me out of my way. Because I would have been not as good, and I would have probably died from exhaustion. and Pete Aronson at IFC, who's a really good friend of mine, said, "Yeah, we want to pick up the show, we want to make it, but you're not going to be the lead." And I was like, "Okay." Whereas before, when I was 25, I'd have been like, "Take a walk, buddy.
Screw you."
Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah," and it's one of those things where they couldn't have been more right, and I couldn't have been more wrong.
It's good to learn that, right?
Yeah, and it was great that I was very grateful that this came around at a point in my life where I was over myself. It wasn't a big deal.
So if his character is based on your father,
yeah,
the curmudgeonly old fellow,
yeah,
is Denise based on someone in your family?
Denise is not based on anybody in my family.
No one.
No, I'll tell you exactly where I got that relationship. I liked there's a David Lynch movie called The Straight Story.
Okay.
Which not a lot of people saw. It was a really brilliant movie. It's based on a true story of a guy named Alvin Straight, who was estranged from his brother, but was facing the end of his life, and he didn't have a car, and he drove across the country on a tractor to reunite with his brother. And it was Harry Dean Stanton plays his brother, and
rest in peace.
Rest in peace. And the guy that played Alvin Straight, I'm blanking on his name, but he was also dying when they were making the movie.
Oh, no.
And it was his last thing. And I could look up who it was. And it's just a brilliant movie. It's unlike anything else David Lynch has ever done. But he lives with his daughter, who's played by Sissy Spacek. And I love the relationship of this sort of crotchety old guy and this sort of flighty daughter that share a house. But she's, in the movie, she's definitely his tether to reality. But I thought it would be interesting for comedy if she was just as screwy as he was, but in a different way. And you have these two people that are living together and just totally talking past each other 24/7. Like, they never connect at all. They just don't connect. But they share a house. I think that happens a lot. They just talk past each other. And I thought that was a really interesting relationship. So developed the character, and then and Susan Burke, who is a really talented writer, wrote a really funny horror movie that I'm in called Southbound.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and she contributed a lot to Denise too. Like Denise's love of animals all came from Susan, and then Deborah Baker just made it completely her own and just really hauled it into the end zone.
I bet you can imagine what my wife's first question was when we started watching the show regarding Deborah Baker. Is her voice really like that?
Yes, that's really her voice, and her name is Deborah Baker Jr.
Junior? What is
true.
that?
Her mom's name is also Deborah Baker.
Have you ever heard of that before?
Never
in
in
my
my
woman
life.
is a junior?
Never in my life.
No.
I had a joke about it.
I watched the first 5 episodes, and then I think it was the 6th where I went, wait, hold on. Junior?
Yep.
Is this
Yeah.
just sliding past me?
She's fantastic, and she's really a really good actress. But that is her voice. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she's so good on that.
Yeah, and she's
so
very
amazing.
Her and Janet, it's so funny. One of the differences between the first season and the second season is that you see everybody's strengths, and you see where they jibe. And in the second season, I put Janet Varney and Deborah Baker together a lot.
Oh, good.
Because they're both improvisers, and they really really brought out a lot of great stuff in each other. And Janet's very grounded, but a brutally talented woman, and played off Deborah really, really well.
We for people that don't know, it's on Hulu now.
If season 1 is on Hulu.
Season 1 is on Hulu. That's the only place it's available right now, right?
Right now, yeah. You can see season. You can see one. You can see a sneak preview of season 2 right now on IFC's Facebook page and their IFC.com, and then the seasons 2 starts on IFC on November 1st.
And where will you be November 1st?
I'll be at home, and then on November 2nd, I go to Chicago to stand up.
Oh, okay. And, of course, the day before, Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween's a big day for me.
Yep, I remember you telling me about that. Tom Kenny, will that happen this year?
I will be at Tom Kenny's house, as I was last year.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yep.
That's so cool. So I rewatched season 1.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
in anticipation of hanging out with you this week. And
I'm about 15 pounds lighter than I was in season 1. I look a little chunky.
I didn't notice.
My dad said I went to visit my parents. My dad goes, "You lost weight?" And I go, "Yeah, I did." He goes, "Yeah, I saw on TV. You were fat." Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Stan.
Thanks, Bad. Yeah, exactly.
Thanks a lot. Stan's line.
Not looking so trim yourself there, Slick.
Yeah, you want to bring it on, right?
Yeah. Want to get in the ring?
Was the Bobby Orr thing based on your father? Was
Absolutely.
he a big Bobby Orr fan?
Yeah, absolutely. As was I as a child, yeah.
You're not a sports fan, though.
No,
really.
but Bobby Orr, for some reason, I was 9 years old. I was really into Bobby Orr. Not even the Bruins, but he kind of looked like me. Yeah.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Gordie Howe makes an appearance this season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in a weird way. I mean, he's passed, but
yeah, very
we
right.
did send out a casting call for a Gordie Howe lookalike. I'll just leave it at that.
At what age?
Old retired Gordie.
Old Gordie.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And we got him.
Of course. There's somebody else.
That might be in the baby episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great marketing last night online because I did notice that episode is being posted.
How did you notice it? Where'd you see it? I didn't do it until this morning.
It was on the Stan Against Evil Facebook, or did I see a Janet? I saw the Janet Barney.
Oh, right,
video.
I did. Yeah,
You reposted it.
I reposted Janet.
It was her saying we got a little Friday the 13th sneak peek.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I had to go, okay, midnight, is she talking? This can't be Central Time Zone. Is it on IFC? Is it on Facebook? But then I found it and watched it.
Great. That's
the Werepony.
Yeah, that's sort of my salute to An American Werewolf in London. The transformation is right out of An American Werewolf in London. Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guys who directed that, Jack Bishop and Justin Najim, our directing team, they directed the hell out of that episode. They did an amazing job.
When someone is directing other than you,
I don't direct.
You don't direct any of them.
I don't direct. No, I don't like to direct.
No, okay.
I direct the actor. I mean, I direct the actors. TV is different than film. In film, in movies, the writer is the least important person on the set. You turn in the script and they just
and you're done.
You're done. Yeah, they don't. 9 times out of 10, they don't even want you on the set. Most directors. Some directors are smart, and they'll have you around.
Yeah.
But most directors don't want you anywhere near the set. And in television, the writer is the boss, more so than the director.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
A smart writer will let the director direct, but I'm the one that really directs the actors. Like in terms of, I think the scene goes this way. I think that you're coming in with this attitude. I think this joke plays this better this way. And the director sets the actions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to tell you I had a kind of a Stan moment. Something happened in my life. Made me think of the show the other day. I was in my car driving, and all of a sudden, I got one of these cars that when it gives me a signal when a tire's going flat.
Uh-huh.
So, and I had a flat tire. It said they're supposed to be like 30 pounds per square inch. I had a tire that was at 18, 17, 16. I'm like, shit, I got to pull over. I got to take care of this. And then it brought the line, spare tires are gay.
Yeah. That's Dan. He's not what you'd call woke.
No. Spare tires are gay.
Yeah.
No one's saying that.
Where's the spare? Yeah, spare tires are gay. It's so dumb.
And the special effects, the way you guys do it, where it's a lot of prosthetics.
A lot of prosthetics.
Love it.
Guys in rubber suits running around the hot, sweaty Atlanta jungle in the middle of the summer.
Yeah, and probably not the ideal
Yeah,
setting for
and
that.
we had two guys. Mick Ignis plays a lot of our suit creatures. He's such a pro. It's freakish. He's so good.
What is I'm curious. What is in the blood or that anything that gets sprayed on you guys?
Yeah,
What is it?
I felt so bad about drowning Janet in goo last season. In fact, in the pilot episode, we were literally in a swamp in Atlanta at 3 a.m, and she's getting black goo vomited onto her. It was just, and I walked up to her and it was the first episode, and I walked up to her and I went, I'm so sorry. Because it just seemed funny when I wrote it in my kitchen.
As you said to me last year, the role that you wrote specifically for her.
Yeah, for her.
So this is a legitimate apology.
Yeah, so this season she's a lot more comfortable. I get it worse than anybody.
Really?
Yeah. Kevin gets completely engulfed in slime, and it's mostly industrial food thickener. Yeah, we have a great, brilliant physical effects guy named Bob Shelley, and he's been around forever. And he was just, some of these guys, just a nice old guy, kind of funny guy, and you talk to him, and then you realize that he was did 3 tours in Vietnam, done all this stuff, met President Nixon, met President Johnson,
wow,
like all this crazy stuff.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it's just like, oh, if I were you, I would be leading with those stories.
Right.
Yeah. President Nixon, I liked him. He was all right. I was on his Secret Service detail, and it was crazy. And he makes all the physical effects, and he makes this. It's water and food thickener and all this stuff.
Is it no taste? Hopefully, when it gets on your lips
taste.
or anything.
But he did say I'm completely covered in it. And I go, so will this stuff just shower out? And he goes, oh, yeah. Well, actually, and then he goes, actually, water's the worst thing you can put on it.
No, what?
So, yeah, I went through an 8-pack of paper towels.
Oh,
just
no.
getting it all out of my hair. But I love Bub. He's the greatest guy in the world.
I think you'll appreciate this. We were rewatching the last episode, and at one point my wife goes, this is like a video game.
Yeah, that was the whole point.
She keeps going and going back to the beginning.
Yeah,
and then I went, honey, I think the episode's called
Level
Boss.
Yeah, it's called Level Boss.
You nailed it.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's a
Yeah.
video game. Yeah, she's trapped in a video game.
So great writing there.
Oh, yeah, and then nice call on your wife.
Yeah.
She nailed it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's like, honey.
And we have a nice and the what I like about the second season is it ends on a cliffhanger, and it doesn't get it has a 2-stage resolution. It takes a while to fix, which I liked. It doesn't have an easy fix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did
There's a fix, and then the fix causes problems of its own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
The law. My favorite thing is the law of unintended consequences,
Yes.
which affects everybody all the time.
I can see that. And this it's 8 more episodes, right?
Yeah.
Just like the first season?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ends on and they don't. Things don't always go great for the gang.
I think you went back to Atlanta. It all filmed in the same place.
Yeah, we all filmed the same place. Yeah, and it was so funny. I had the same condo that I stayed in, and it was like I never left. I mean, you just go home and then
summer camp.
Yeah, you just go in your bag. Like, oh, yeah, I guess back in the place. So weird. So weird.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And you're still doing your podcast.
Dana Gould Hour Halloween episode comes out in about a week.
Okay.
Yep.
You put it together already?
I'm putting it together as we speak. It stars Josh Olson, who is the host of Trailers from Hell, Joe Dante, who directed Gremlins and Goonies.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he directed Goonies. I think he directed Goonies. I know he directed Gremlins. And a friend of mine, Mike Mendez, who's a really great up-and-coming horror director, directed Don't Kill It and Big Ass Spider. And it's a Halloween episode.
Yeah. I love the fact that it's the Dana Gould Hour podcast, and it's like almost 3 hours long.
I only do one. I only do one a month, so I make it worth your while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just how I choose to do it.
No, I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
you can't fall. Hard to fall behind,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's just I don't want to. It's the only way I can do it and still live my life.
Oh, I hear you. I was listening to your most recent one, and we don't need to get into it too much, but just the story
With the animals?
No, yes, but also you told a quick story about your mom taught you how to shoplift because she was giving money to
Oral Roberts.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Didn't seem weird to me at the time. I figured every kid's mom taught him to shoplift, you know. When you're a kid, you don't know it's wrong. It's like, okay. Yeah, my mom was...
Do your kids know those stories?
They do now. My mom, when I was a kid, was really into televangelists. And, you know, she's a specific type of individual. And she was really into Oral Roberts. And, you know, you have to... It's like Joel Osteen or any of these other criminals where you have con artists. I don't mean to call them criminals. They're con artists. Mm-hmm. You can, you know, if you're dumb enough to go for it, they should take your money. But you got to keep paying money. You can't just watch them and listen to them. You got to pay the freight. And we didn't have any money. We were a blue-collar family, 6 kids. So we would go grocery shopping, and she would shoplift certain items and then deduct that money from what you'd be given. She'd send that to Oral Roberts.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
And I got caught shoplifting on Halloween in 1977. And,
oh, really?
Yeah, and they called my mom, and nothing happened. I went out that night. My friends were astounded. But how are you? What are you doing? But how are you? What?
Instead, she said, you weren't following my tips, son.
It's just like, she didn't say anything. I don't think she said anything. She said, I just don't go in there for a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That is amazing.
Crazy.
Is there anything else you'll be covering here? Let's see. Your podcast, Stand Against Evil, November 1st.
Yep.
Your album is out now. People bring a few extra bucks, buy one of those posters from you.
Yeah, they're
at
only
the show
$10.
Here. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, great souvenir. Is there anything else we should be mentioning?
I think we're good.
Oh, here's one thing I want to say.
2 shows here.
Yes. I want to say that and I saw you post this, on Hulu, where it recommends, like, oh, you might also like.
Yeah.
So I checked mine, because I saw that you posted on social media. Yours said, Curious George and the Golden Girls.
Yes, I don't know what their algorithms are.
How about add these in? Because these are the recommendations for me.
Yeah.
This Is Us, Will and Grace, and Full House. The original Full House.
What? I don't understand.
Full House, Dana.
I don't understand their algorithms.
No.
I don't know if it cross-pollinates, like with what my daughter watches on Hulu or something. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I know. So, there you go.
Well, watch me, or if not, please watch Full House and the Golden Girls.
Perfect. Let's see. I'm looking at my notes real quick here.
The Golden Girls house, by the way, no longer full.
Hey, one last thing here, because I know that you were a fan of this Mad Magazine.
Yes.
It still exists.
Still exists, coming back.
Do you ever look at it anymore?
I don't look at it anymore, but I'm going to write something for it.
Seriously?
Yeah, and early next year. I can't do anything until like January, February, but I'm going to write. I think I'm going to do a movie parody for them.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Have you first time writing for them?
Yeah, first time writing for Mad. I'm kind of flattered.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I'm doing 2 of my like other projects that are into next year. I'm adapting Rod Serling's first draft script of Planet of the Apes as a graphic novel for Boom Comics, which is a very different movie than what you know. It's very different. It takes place in a modern-day city. The apes have cars and helicopters. The action's different. So that'll be an interesting... I'm doing that, and then I'm doing some stuff for Mad.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just happened to be on that website Groupon last night.
Yeah.
There was a Groupon.
Don't go to Groupon. That's a very different...
No connection to Mad Magazine on
Yeah.
there. You can get Mad was on Groupon last night. $4 for a year subscription.
That's crazy.
$4.
I love that it's still going.
Me too.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna resubscribe.
Yeah.
I guess it comes out every 2 months now.
They have a physical... You get a physical issue?
I guess I didn't read the fine print. I assume
Yeah.
it's a physical copy and not some digital thing. But
Yeah. Good for them.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Who knew that there'd be a time
I love
there?
that stuff.
Oh,
Well, it's
that's
so
really
funny.
cool.
My friends, all the great movie parodies that we grew up reading, many of them were written by my friend's dad. My friend Jake Hogan, who was an early original Simpsons writer, Arnie Kogan is his dad, who was a writer on Carol Burnett's show and Mad Magazine and all that stuff.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. Well, good luck with everything.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for leaving a little time to do this.
Sure,
with me here,
no
and,
problem at all.
Yeah, continued success, team.
Oh, I try.